Hey everyone, Zeddy here today with a brand new video, and we're continuing our review series of Ashes of Outland, and today we're taking a look at Hunter. Again, I will be reviewing in both Standard and Wild on a 5-star scale, with 5 stars being the absolute nuts in every deck, and 1 being unplayable trash you might take in Arena. So let's begin with the Hunter cards. We have Hellbore, a 1-mana 2/1 beast, Death Rattle. Give a random beast in your hand +1/+1. It's a decent 1-drop play. Turn 1 play, can buff something in your hand. In Standard, probably a throwaway 1-drop to play in an aggressive deck, especially if you're running a lot of beasts. But outside of that, it's going to be pretty fringe. I think there's better stuff to do overall, so I'm going to give it a 2. In Wild, there are just so many better cards, including 1-drop beasts, and I don't think you're even going to consider for a second playing this in Hunter, even though... And Hunter's just terrible in Wild to begin with. This is not going to help it in the least, so a 1-star in Wild. Next, we have Pack Tactics, a new secret in Hunter, 2 mana. When a friendly minion is attacked, summon a 3/3 copy. So basically, you punish your opponent for trading, and you get a 3/3 copy. It could be something good. It could be a beast with, like, say, the prior one with a Death Rattle, or something along those lines. It's reminiscent of Snake Trap. You're getting 3/3 in stats, but it's on 1 body. Standard, the secret pool is rather shallow in Hunter, and it's just nice to be able to throw a couple secrets in to like the Highlander decks and that. So it might be a one-of in a Highlander deck, maybe if you're running the secret package, but overall, I just don't see it as that strong a card. I think Hunter has better stuff. So in Standard, I'm going to give it a 2, and in Wild, there are way, way better secrets. And again, Hunter is such a bad spot. You can play like Reno Hunter and Secret Hunter, and some of it runs secrets, but you're not running this as one of your secrets. It's not good enough. So again, a 1 in Wild. We then have Scrap Shot, 4 mana, deal 3 damage, give a random beast in your hand +3/+3. So kind of like Flanking Strike. Flanking Strike was tempo. This is more value. You're playing Hunter. Value is usually not the way to go, even in the Highlander decks. You still kind of got a tempo. You got to kill your opponent. You can't outvalue your opponent, especially in Standard. It just doesn't work. But its removal, it can buff a beast. There are some beasts in this set that work with it. So if it's going to see play, it's going to see play in Standard. I'm going to give it a 3. I think that is a small shot, but it's still probably too value-centric and, like, I don't know. I'm going to give it a 3. I think it might see some play basically in Highlander Hunter or some, like, janky hand-buffed Hunter. But in Wild, again, not ever making the cut. Incredibly slow, and you're never doing anything with this. So again, 1 star in Wild. Then we have a new 10-mana spell, Nagrin Slam. Summon 4 3/5 Cleft Hoofs that attack random enemies. This card's pretty damn good. You're getting 12/20 in stats, and they could theoretically all go face. This could be 4 or 10 mana to 12 face, but they can trade. It's random, so like you're gonna get some trades. Some of them will be bad, some will be good. You might get face damage in, but it's a big board swing, and that's just a lot of value in 1 card. I think Reno Hunter or Highlander Hunter is definitely running this card. It's not going to go in aggressive decks. I think it's a Highlander Hunter card, and that's really good. And I mean, you're going to throw it in there. So in Standard, I'm going to give it a 3. In Wild, although Hunter sucks, Spiteful Summoner recently got unnerfed, and you have Zul'jin. Zul'jin can recast this. So a Reno Hunter, a Zul'jin Hunter, a Spell Hunter, a Spiteful Hunter, all could potentially run this card. Those decks all suck. They're not good, but if you want to try it, and maybe it'll be enough to slightly get it there, you can get a 10 drop off your Spiteful now. It might be good enough, so I'll give it a 3 in Wild too. There's multiple decks it can fit in. It's just those decks aren't very good, but, you know, maybe you'll have some success, and it might see a bit of play, so I'll give it a 3. Really powerful card. Then we have Mock Natal Lion, the National Geographic Hunter card. It's a 4 mana 5/2 beast, rush, battle cry, choose a friendly minion, gain a copy of its Death Rattle. Very powerful effect. This basically removes everything on curve outside of Edwin or something, or Death Rattle. And if there's a Death Rattle on the board, you're going to pop it immediately. So you get like an egg, a 3/4 egg, or a 4/4 egg, or whatever. The Death Rattle pool's pretty weak in Standard right now, so I don't know if it's going to see much play. It's a really good card. There's not a ton of Death Rattle support, but it's just so strong that I think it might be able to sneak in and see some play in standard, so I'll give it a 3. And then wild, there are a ton of Death Rattles and Death Rattle synergies. You have Play Dead, Devilsaur Egg, Nerubian Egg. You have Terrascale Stalker, all these great things, and this card would fit right in that. Again, like I keep saying, Hunter is bad in wild, but this deck could find a place there, so I'll give it a 3 in wild. It's not going to see play probably right now, just because Hunter sucks so much, but if that deck is ever powerful enough to see play again, it is likely a staple, so I'll give it a 3 in wild as well. Then we have Imprisoned Thelma, a 2 and a 5/4 dormant minion. When this awakens, it attacks a random enemy. This includes the enemy hero, could go face. 2 mana 5/4, pretty good, but you have to wait 2 turns, and the attack can screw you, or it could be good. It's not bad, it's not great, you can't control it, it's really only good on curve. It's a terrible top deck. I don't know, I'm not impressed with this one. It's too random. The stats are good, but I feel it's too random, too inconsistent. So in standard, I'm going to give it a 2. Don't think it's worth it. Even in the aggressive face decks, you can do better stuff. You'd rather play something that's going to attack the next turn. And in wild, it's 1. It's just unplayable trash. Then we have Augmented Porcupine. Pretty cool art. 3 mana, 2/4. Death Rattle. After this, or deal this minion's attack randomly split amongst all enemies. So this can go face as well. As a 2/4, it's just crap. It's not 2 damage, you don't care. The body doesn't really do anything you play. This has to be hand buffed. And as a result, when you only have really 2 cards that work with that, in standard, the Scavenger's Ingenuity, like in the 1-drop and the spell we talked about, I just don't see enough support, and the payoff is just not there. I think I could be wrong, but I really don't think so in standard. So I'm going to give it a 2 in standard. It's close with that stuff, but there's not enough. But as more stuff is made, maybe. In wild, again, way too slow. The effect is garbage. Hot garbage. 1. Don't put this in your wild deck. Unless you're memeing. Then we have the new Hunter Legendary Beastmaster Leerox. 8 mana, 5/5. Battlecry, summon 3 beasts from your hand. That could be King Crush, Savannah Highmane. In wild, you got like Charged Devilsaur, Undasta, a lot of big stuff. Or even if you're playing Deathstalker Rexar, a bunch of Deathstalker Rexar beasts. Pretty cool. I just feel like in wild or in standard, the card draw is lacking for this guy to be consistently good to get big beasts, and that you're not running out of cards to actually fight actively on board. You don't have Master's Call anymore, and plus you can't really run it with this because he's not a beast. It's like an insanely powerful effect, but I feel like it's not consistent enough. These beasts need to be in your hand. You need to be able to survive till you play him. You probably win the game if you play him and cheat out a Crush, a Tundra Rhino, and a Highmane. That's the dream, right? But I don't know if it's consistent enough. It's quite slow. It's a bit dangerous, but a very powerful card. I'll give it a 2. In wild, there's a better shot. You have more draw options. You have a lot better pool of giant beasts. You can run Katrina for redundancy. But again, slow strategies in wild are completely screwed over by Questmage right now. But I'll give it a 3 in wild just because I think the potential down the road is there for this card. There's so much synergy and insane beasts, and it's only going to get better as time goes on. I'll give it a 3, but again, I don't expect to see much meta play, but a really powerful and cool card. Then we have Zigs, Apex Predator, 5 mana, 2/4, Prime Legendary for Hunter. It has Rush, so it's okay. You'd rather be a 4/2. The stats kind of aren't great, but you get the Zigzor Prime, which is an 8 mana, 4/4, summon 3 copies of this minion. So that's an 8 mana, 16/16 with Rush, which is insane. And if you run something that buffs it, like the next card we'll talk about, or the 4 mana deal 3 spell, that's 4/7/7. So that's 28/28 Rush. That's the card I feel like that could make. This card is what could make the hand buff stuff work, because that is insane. You can even tutor it with the 3 mana 4/1 draw Rush minion from your deck that Hunter still has. So there's a lot of potential in this. I see it more in the Highlander Hunter deck, but you're running this. This card's crazy. It's a 4-star card in standard. In wild, it's way too slow, and Rush just isn't quite the same because everyone else is playing charge or playing 2 turns or just killing you before you'll ever do much with it. But it could be a one of in Reno Hunter, which just isn't very good. I'll give it a 2. It's just too slow there. And then lastly, we have the Hunter spell that, again, works with the prior card, Scavenger's Ingenuity. It's a 2 mana spell. Draw a beast, give it +3/+3. So you're tutoring a beast. It's always a beast. and you're buffing it immediately, and then you can play it on curve or whatever. If it has rush, that's insane. If it's a Zigs or a Prime, that's broken. There's a lot of powerful stuff you can do with this, and it's draw. And Hunter, especially in Standard, is lacking that draw. So definitely see this. You could run this in Highlander Hunter, Beast Hunter, maybe even, I don't think Dragon Hunter because you don't run up Beast, but there's a couple of decks it fits into. I'm going to give it a 3. I think it'll see play in those decks. It's a pretty good card in Wild. Master's Call, I feel, just trumps this. If you're running Beast, you want to play Master's Call. You can play it with it, but 2 mana, draw 1 card, and buff 1 card is too slow. It's not enough stuff, but it's a decent card. And I know Duwin will probably make a Scavenger's Ingenuity Knuckles deck, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I just don't think it'll be very competitive. But cool card in Wild. I'll give it a 2 in Wild. So that's my review of the Hunter cards. Nothing too crazy. Hunter sucks in Wild. It's going to suck in Wild continuously. Hunter's pretty good in Standard. It's getting some decent stuff in Standard. It'll probably be pretty okay in Standard. So I hope you enjoyed the review. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow with the next review. And stay salty, my friends.